What is up, tribe? Long time no see. I told you we were going to start. I told you this was the year. Welcome to all the replayers who are showing up. Spontaneous YouTube live. Completely last minute. Going to chat a little bit. It's a little bit of a test run. I'm a little rusty, so this is just a test run, mostly for my benefit, but hopefully we'll get some to jump on the live viewing. Marilyn, thanks for hanging out. You and a couple other people are already here. So today we're going to talk a little bit about the World Health Organization. They have declared the year 2020 as the year of the nurse and midwife, and it seems that it's correlating to the 200th birthday anniversary of good old Flo, Florence Nightingale. So I'm not sure if it's a marketing ploy or not. Couple posts have circulated out and around Instagram. There's a lot of people that think that it's just a bunch of hot air. But maybe, just maybe, that if the WHO, the World Health Organization, has decided that it was the year of the nurse, that maybe we as a profession, maybe we can actually speak up and people might actually hear us this time. We have several more people who have rolled in and still getting used to YouTube Live again. Sorry, gang. So Maryland here, A4, Alex, and oh, look at that, Crit Bits, my boy, fellow foamed and critical care resuscitationist, ED doc, and Alex, not much. Enjoying my last day of freedom before I head back to work. And I had promised the tribe that I was going to start doing more of these YouTube lives. So here I am. And I'm experimenting with doing a couple different formats. So watching the video here, and I have my iPad over here so that I can actually read your comments. Trying to be a little bit more on top of my game. While I'm chatting, if you have any questions about anything that you want to talk about, please feel free to drop them in the comment section. If you're checking this video out on the replay, also please submit your comments down on the bottom there, because I'm going to try my best to save and or respond to every single question I get. Couple things have happened to me this past year. Russ, thanks for hanging out. Thank you to everyone who's deciding to join me on this late afternoon. It was completely spontaneous. Literally just decided it less than an hour ago, and I already have quite a group of tribe members already hanging out. If you're hanging out in the shadows, please feel free to send me a comment, send a question. I want to hear from you. I want to make sure that this is working well. First of all, give me a yay or nay. Give me a thumbs up or something to let me know that you guys can hear me. Elise, Vic, thanks for showing up. Give me a thumbs up. Give me a wave, something to let me know that you can hear me here. We got Jackie, Alex. Thanks for joining us. Jackie, hello. So I thought I'd chat a little bit about my plan this year. Gonna spend a lot more time on YouTube. I've been neglecting y'all. It seems that I've kind of gone in phases. I spent the beginning of my time was on Facebook. For those of you that have jumped ship and joined me from Facebook, I've submitted almost all of my videos via Facebook, and then about a year after that, put everything out on YouTube, and I've been on YouTube ever since then. Social media wise, I'm everywhere. You can find me anywhere. But I usually spend most of my time on Instagram as well as YouTube. and it's on Instagram and YouTube that I'm going to spend the majority of my efforts. Most of my blog posts or most of my content will go through Instagram, probably end up on my blog, on my personal blog, and then I'll share them throughout everywhere else. But I want to spend more time with y'all, the tribe. Thanks, Vic. Thanks for letting me know. I'm imagining down in Florida, it's probably a little warmer than where I am up here in the northeastern area of the world. Although I shouldn't complain because it's not snowing and it's not in single digits. So I'm going to go ahead and stop talking about the weather. The format for these YouTube lives mostly are going to be spontaneous. Sorry, my schedule just doesn't allow me to create a regimented, predicted schedule. For those that have been a part of the tribe, y'all know this. I am not able to schedule something ahead of time because there's always something that comes up, or quite honestly, I'll schedule something and I'll just be too exhausted or not in the right frame of mind to do things. Boop, 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 boop. So I figure if I can give you a day leeway or, you know, half a day leeway, I'll do that. These YouTube lives are just a way of connecting with the tribe, engaging with you. If you have some questions that I can answer, and for you to drop comments below so that we can follow up on things that are going on. We're making a really big push this year for increasing my educational content. It was something that spawned from another spontaneous post that I did, and I had to go look it up. This was back in April. I did a spontaneous post on the lab value, the D-dimer. I did a quick Instagram story on D-dimer, and I talked about from the nursing world, we have always been told that elevated D-dimer equals PE or equals DVT. That a D-dimer equals clot. And that's just the way that our nursing brain, the way that our nursing education trained us. Dare I say, has literally just brainwashed us into thinking that. And there's not necessarily anything wrong with that. It's just that there's more to it. And that Instagram story was all about how the D-dimer is not only a very weak indicator for clots, but that the D-dimer can be elevated for a bazillion reasons. And sometimes a D-dimer is elevated and quite honestly, there's nothing wrong with the patient, at least not from a clinical perspective. They may have some chronic illnesses going on, but the elevated D-dimer does not equal doesn't mean you're going to treat something. So I got a great feedback on that one. So it's taken me a while to figure it out. Sorry, I'm a little slow, tribe, but I'm going to start doing more of that stuff. And this got I got a fire under my butt about this because I'm finding a love for the foamed community again. Foam, F-O-A-M-E-D, foamed, which is free open access medical education. And if it's not something you've heard of, you can Google it. It's not a secret in any way. It's been around as long as I've been on the internet, if not longer. And it came about many years ago from the old traditional OG bloggers like myself, way back before social media kind of took over and the microblog was born. And it literally is like it sounds. It's just free medical education. Someone in the medicine world, nursing, healthcare, decides that they want to share a piece of information, and they literally just post it with the caveat knowing that this is sometimes personal opinion, sometimes anecdotal, and tries to be based on evidence. But it could be simply just experience, like, you know, what does your facility do when you treat someone with DKA? Or what does your facility do on how they titrate a heparin drip? So, and that all under the umbrella of the foamed community. And on Instagram, I have a number of other docs who have been on Instagram as long as me, if not longer, who have a huge following. We're talking like 50,000, 20,000, and they focus on free open access medical education, and I'm digging it. I'm loving it. In fact, I should have been doing it a long time ago. So I'm not going to stop doing the stuff that I've been doing, but I want to elevate my game. So a couple individuals on Instagram, including the user that was in the crowd, Critical Care Now, they do mini, like, bite-sized pieces of critical care information, and I didn't want to steal anyone's thunder. I didn't want to utilize anyone's information or piggyback off of anyone's success. So I created my own hashtag with the help of a friend, and the hashtag is minicrit, MINICRIT. And I posted it on Instagram last night, shared it to the community page on my YouTube channel, and it's literally just miniature, bite-sized posts on a critical care concept, and it could be very specific or very broad. And I've already asked for feedback, suggestions, and I just checked on the program that I use, and I already have like 15 to 20 topics. So strong work, tribe. So let me take a look at who else has joined us in the live feed here. We have Marilyn, Jackie, Elsie, Alex. So Vic says, love your YouTube channel. I share with all my friends and my wife, who's an ICU manager. I helped 2 nurses get through nursing school, and you are a great resource. Well, thank you. Shocker. Marilyn says yes to more educational content. Jackie says nursing school for her at least tried to make everything black and white. So I wouldn't disagree with that. In my nursing school, in most of my nursing educational experience, it has been black and white because that's just the way it works. I think you could ask any type of healthcare professional. There's what you learn in school, and then there's the reality. I think you all know that my tagline has always been, this is what they don't teach, or what they don't teach you in nursing school. And I'm not stopping that thought process or that theme. I'm just going to take it a step further. I think it's time to pay it forward and to start sharing all of the amazing things that I've learned and experienced over my past 15 years as a nurse, 15 years of critical care nursing, and the past 7 years as an ICU critical care, acute care nurse practitioner, or what we are now calling advanced practice provider, because NPs are not the only ones that work in the ICU. And I'm pretty sure that if you've been hanging around my channel or my content, I talk about it all the time. So I'm kind of excited, nervous and excited, because, you know, I'm worried, and if you noticed my post recently, I'm a little worried that there's going to be backlash. Like, people are going to start attacking me because my content might not be 100% accurate. So people might gang up and might chastise me for putting out maybe not the most 100% correct information, or not the evidence-based information. So I'm going to definitely warn you, this is mostly it's going to start out as a lot of anecdotal information, simply what I've been experiencing. Let's see here. Alex is saying, Elise is saying that they also love the educational content. Jackie says, big surprise. Yeah, she says there was no clear correlation between things. Big surprise once they graduated and started working. And Russ, how you doing? Russ says it's a great format, the KISS method with a tailboard talk. So KISS method, which means, you know, KISS. Keep it simple, stupid. Literally, that's what we're doing. If anyone has any questions, random off the top of your head, you want to talk about, you want me to discuss, please, by all means, submit it. The other thing that I'm going to try and focus on is minimizing these live chats. As y'all know, I tend to talk a lot. I tend to be a blowhard. So I'm going to try and keep my YouTube live broadcast to about 30 minutes. Maybe 40 minutes. It'll all depend on the didactic and how live the activity is, how engaging it is. But the idea behind that is that, you know, when people come upon my channel, as long as maybe they want to go view one of the live broadcasts and they realize that the live broadcast was an hour plus long, or it was 45 to 50 minutes long, a lot of people aren't interested in that. They're not gonna sit around for that. So short, to the point. I will probably bring questions with me when I start these YouTube lives, and then if no one wants to engage, or if I don't have a good attendance because I'm stupid and spontaneous, then we'll just leave it at that. We'll cut them short. I'm not gonna stay live just to say I was live. I really want this live broadcasting concept to be all about the tribe, all about the community and engagement, not only between me and the community, but I love the engagement between the attendees who are live and then those who come back afterwards. So please be sure to share this with anyone so they can view this later. Russ says, as long as you have the politically correct disclaimer, much like I have with my Hey Sean, just remember his opinions are like butts. Yeah, everybody's got one. John, thanks for showing up. John says he's a new RN who has spent several years as an LPN who's looking to come into the hospital in the ER. Can I use experienced med-surg time to leverage my position? I think there was a little bit of misspelling there, John. I'm not quite sure what you're asking. Use experienced med-surg to leverage my position. Yes. So the answer is any experience you can, as a nurse, LPN or RN, you can use that to leverage to get your foot in the door, or to maybe help negotiate the starting salary if you get that interview. So yeah, I absolutely would use your LPN experience, but don't think it's transferable, meaning what you experience as an LPN is going to be what you're expecting as an RN. I think you have to think of it more globally. You want to make sure that you talk about how, as an LPN, you had to utilize these particular skills. You had to utilize your critical thinking skills. You had to utilize time management. You were good under pressure because of this. You're able to manage several different things at once and multitask because of this, what I did with LPN. So you want to try and make an indirect correlation between your experience as an LPN and your experience or your position, future position as an RN. The other thing that you can also talk about is that as an LPN, you'll be able to probably fast track your orientation a small degree because of all the things that a new grad RN has to learn. You probably already have that ingrained a little bit, so you might have a little bit of a leg up. You got to sell yourself no matter what. Good question. Verio, it's an interesting username here, screen name. It says that I look like Stone Cold's younger brother who didn't go to jail. Funny story behind that is that when I first started shaving my head 20 years ago, Shaving your head as a Caucasian male was not accepted, and it was misinterpreted as someone who was a skinhead. Not making that up, true story. You were either a skinhead or you were a pro wrestler. So it was a blessing to be mistaken for a pro wrestler. So um, I actually, in the early years, and we're talking 20 plus years ago now, I had someone who literally walked across a mall parking lot thinking that I was some pro wrestler of some sort. Can't say that I ever looked like him other than the bald head, but thanks for the compliment. Elise says that sometimes when she's watching longer videos, she uses the speed option to try and speed things up. I do the same thing, Elise, and if you want to speed up my long-windedness, by all means, go for it. Jackie's asking, any suggestions for online RN BSN programs? I don't really, if you're asking me for specific programs, I can't answer that one for you. I can only tell you that do your research and make sure they are credentialed, because it has come to light recently that there are nursing school programs that were not credentialed, and these particular students graduated and either studied for boards, took boards, were already practicing, and then their licensure had to be revoked, or they weren't allowed to sit for the exam because they didn't attend a credentialed program. And that sounds crazy, but it's the truth. There were programs out there that did not maintain their credentialing, so I would do your homework. Pure online programs, I'm on the fence about. We could talk about that a lot. I think I might have chatted about it recently, but get what you need to get out of it. You do have to realize that you are going to do a lot, if not all the work on your own. It is pretty much self-study. That may not be an accelerated. So looks like someone's suggesting some other online programs here. And remember, I'm looking down at the comments instead of looking at the screen, so please bear with me. Alex says the same thing, making sure that your online program is accredited. Win is asking how to be successful in Med-surg. I never worked in Med-surg, so I can't be the most accurate resource for that information. But if I had to give you any suggestions, is that time management is key. When you're managing that kind of workload and varying levels of acuity in the Med-surg world, you definitely have to have your time management skills on point. And you also have to develop a lot of confidence. Time management, confidence, and critically thinking. Last but not least, you got to be a team player, because a lot of the things that you're going to have to, that you'll be responsible for with your large load of patients, you're not going to be physically doing yourself. You're going to have to trust your team. You're going to have to trust if you have the LPNs that work with you, or if you have nurses aides that work with you that will do some of your tasks. You're going to have to trust your team and be you're going to have good team dynamics and good communication skills. So those are horribly broad suggestions, but that's where I'd start. Sarah's asking, any pointers on prepping for the CCRN test? Goal is to sit for the exam in the next 3 to 4 months, and it's a lot of information, much of which I haven't seen yet in my 2 years as ICU. I was the same way, so I took, I didn't take a prep course, but I borrowed a CCRN prep book, CD, DVD. So I utilized Laura Gasparis, her online program, and her DVD set. A good friend of mine, Nicole Kupchik, has an entire program that you can buy the books, CDs, or DVDs, and then she has live courses that you can attend. So it really depends on what you're interested in investing. If you just want to buy the CDs or the DVDs, you can do that, but I would highly suggest talking with other nurses who may have taken the exam and see what resources they used. I definitely, it's kind of like taking boards. It really is. You have to do practice questions. That's the only way you get better or more comfortable with some of the topics that you don't normally see. Hemodynamics, focusing on topics that you don't normally see. So if you're never in the neuro unit, you don't take care of neuro patients, you should focus on neuro topics. That's my best suggestion. If you look at my Amazon influencer page, I have a bunch of books there that you can take a look at. Messages. So ADNs have Alex is talking advanced patho today. PP and Koi, sorry if I'm mispronouncing that. Starting advanced patho today, any advice? Strap in. Advanced patho is no joke. It will take up the majority of your life for the next several months. It is a lot of information. You better be good with time management and study every freaking day. Every day you better study, and I'm not exaggerating. Every single day you need to dedicate however much time you can dedicate to patho, reading, rewriting notes, listening to lectures, researching topics. It's no joke. Advanced patho is hard. Gene says, ADN student looking to become an FMP, would you recommend ADN MSN or more traditional? I'm not a big fan of bridge programs that skip the BSN, because what happens if you're a quarter of the way through the program and you have to withdraw for some unknown reason? So you're how many credits in, but you still only have your ADN. So now you have to find another program or you have to restart. I think you should do ADN, get your BSN, and then work on getting your MSN. Because if you get your BSN, it can't be taken away from you. If you're halfway through an ADN MSN program and you have to withdraw for, good God, who knows what reason, let's say you have a personal problem, a family emergency, or you're not able to take a class or whatever the case may be, but you're not able to progress through their coursework, then you'll have to restart. Or maybe you withdraw within a year and a half instead of the 3+ year program, and you have nothing to show for it. So I'm not a big fan of those direct entry bridge programs. Russ says online BSN, do the homework and accreditation, time management, studying, research. So we all agree accreditation is huge when it comes to attending a purely online school. But no one knows that answer but you, Gene. Good point, Alex. John is asking what made me decide NP versus management and healthcare, because I'd get fired. If you follow me in the social circles in any way, I am not management material in any way. I don't play well in the sand. Or should I say I'm not good at dancing? I'm not good at the dancing. I don't do well with following what the suits want you to do. I'm a good leader. I'm a natural born leader. I'm a strong clinical leader. I'm a great educator. But I am not a what's the word? Administrator. I am definitely not an administrator in any way. So yeah, I'd get fired. Yes, I'm sorry if I continue to mispronounce this. Pipe, yeah, it's nerve-wracking and it's scary. I wouldn't lie to you. It's freaking hard. Yeah, Russ, sandbox. Simple Fit Nurse is asking, what are my thoughts on different NP programs? Do you see a variance in quality of students? Looking at different programs, not sure if I choose cheapest or online or lecture inexpensive. I'm a big fan of the brick and mortar school because I like being able to troubleshoot in the moment. But you got to do what you got to do. The quality of programs, of course, is always in question, but at the end of the day, it's literally, you need to talk to other students. You need to weigh your options in regards to online versus a cohort program, which is partly online, partly brick and mortar, or completely brick and mortar if it's possible. I'm a big fan of the traditional brick and mortar because that's what I experienced. Also, I'm not the greatest at online programs, but that being said, excuse me, I'm literally attending a purely online DNP program. I'm going back to get my DNP to finish my terminal degree, and I chose online because it was the best option for my lifestyle. So everybody will give you a different answer. All right, gang, that'll be it. So we're now at the 30-minute mark. I'm gonna force myself to stop the chatting. Please continue to submit your questions. I'll either answer them in the comments, or I'll be more than happy to save them for a later date. I'll continue answering the Hey Sean's. Don't forget about the mini crit. And as always, check your own pulse first.